Hare Krishna devotees, uh, please accept my humble obeisances to all the devotees joined in this Zoom meeting. Thank you, Sundaranand Prabhu, for giving me this opportunity to read today's Bhagavatam Sloka translations. All glories to Lord Sri Krishna and Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vasam Tato Jayamudharayet. नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भागवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकीम् जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Today we are reading from Canto 8, Withdrawal of Cosmic Creations, Chapter 12, The Mohini Murti Incarnation Bewilders Lord Shiva. I am reading from the Sloka 37 to 47 at the end of the chapter. So, Sloka 37, seeing Lord Shiva unagitated and unashamed, Lord Vishnu or Madhusudana was very pleased. Thus, he resumed his original form and spoke as follows. Sloka 38, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O best of the demigods, although you have been amply harassed because of my potency in assuming the form of a woman, you are established in your position. Therefore, may all good fortune be upon you. Sloka 39. My dear Lord Shambhu, who within this material world, but you can surpass my illusionary energy. People are generally attached to the sense enjoyment and conquered by its influence. Indeed, the influence of material nature is very difficult for them to surmount. Sloka 40. The material external energy, Maya, which cooperates with me in creation, who is manifested in the three modes of nature, will not be able to bewilder you any longer. Sloka 41. Sukadeva Goswami said, O king, having thus been praised by Supreme Personality, who bears the marks of Srivasta on his chest, Lord Shiva circumambulated him. Then, after taking permission from him, Lord Shiva returned to his abode Kailasa along with his associates. Sloka 42. O descendant of Bharata Maharaja, Lord Shiva in jubilation then addressed his wife Bhavani, who is accepted by all authorities as the potency of Lord Vishnu. Sloka 43. Lord Shiva said, O goddess, you now seen the illusionary energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the unborn master of everyone. Although I am one of the principal expansion of his lordship, even I was illusioned by his energy. What then is to be said of others who are fully dependent on Maya? Sloka 44. When I finished performing mystic yoga for 1000 years, you asked me upon whom I was meditating. Now, here is that Supreme Person to whom time has no entrance and who the Vedas cannot understand. Sloka 45. Sukadeva Goswami said, My dear king, the person who bore the great mountain on his back for the churning of the ocean of milk is the same Supreme Personality of Godhead, known as Sharanga Dhanva. I have now described to you his prowess. Last, Sloka 46. The endeavor of one who constantly hears or describes this narration of churning of the ocean of the milk will never be fruitless. Indeed, chanting the glories of Supreme Personality of Godhead is only means to annihilate all sufferings in this material world. Last sloka. 47. Assuming the form of a young woman and thus bewildering the demons, the Supreme Personality of Godhead distributed to his devotees, the demigods, the nectar produced for the churning of the ocean of the milk. Unto that Supreme Personality of Godhead, who always fulfills the desires of his devotees, I offer my respectable obeisances. End of the chapter. Explanations of these purports will be given by Rasa Chandrika Devi Dasi Mataji. Please take over, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dandatanam. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for reading the translations. Thank you, everybody, for gathering here early in the morning to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. And thank you, Sundaran Prabhu, for giving me this opportunity. We'll start with short prayers. Om Ajnanam Timirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishnapristhaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Dhanvat Pranam. So we are doing 8th Canto, 12th chapter, verse number 37. So far, what we have seen is we had Samudra Manthan, out of which nectar came. It was distributed with the help of Krishna, Vishnu turning into Mohini Rupa. Mohini Rupa was very beautiful, very jubilant, but it was somehow missed by Shivji, because just a little bit ago he had the um, poison. And then he was not present in when Mohini appeared, but he really had the intense desire that Vishnu, as in Krishna, appeared so beautifully, and he missed that opportunity. And he was really ecstatic to look forward to meet Mohini Roop, and he did get an opportunity. Everything that devotees desire, Krishna makes it happen. And when he saw Mohini Roop, he was bewildered. He was intensely bewildered. And now he is just come out of that bewilderment, is from where we are starting to read the section today. So we are reading text 37. In 37, we see, seeing Lord Shiva unagitated and unashamed, Lord Vishnu is very pleased. So it is very necessary to understand one thing. Prabhupada is not given a very vast purport on this. But when are we not ashamed? When we don't think too much of ourselves, right? We are always ashamed, like, oh, what will people say? What will people think? Because we associate ourselves too much to the body. Right? This is when we do feel ashamed. Uh, but here, Shivji is such an exalted devotee. Here he is not ashamed because he knows that whatever has happened had taken place under the direction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And therefore, there was no reason for him to be worried about what had happened. He wasn't that ashamed. So here, rather, Shivji is very proud. Proud of what? That look how powerful his master is. Such a powerful master that he was so easily um, deviated. We see there are other cases also in Kathas. We read that there was once Sobari Muni who got agitated seeing the fishes, but later on he repented. Eh? And there was Ajamil who made a lot of mistakes in his life in sixth canto. And then later on he repented. Here, Shivaji is not repenting because everything is happening as per Vishnu's desire. And that's how he is not connected too much to any materialistic thing. He's way too beyond that. From here only we start seeing how great Shivji is. We go on to verse number 38. Here, when we start reading this, there is first line, "O best of demigods." So, I wanted to see if I could find more points about Shivaji, and I just Googled, "O best of demigods" Vani quote, from where Srila Prabhupada has all his lectures. We can find it over there. There, Srila Prabhupada had narrated one very beautiful story which I was absolutely ignorant about, which I would like to share. So once there was a demigoddess, Kotara, and she was worshipped by a demon, Banasur. So when he was being worshipped, when he worshipped Kotara, Kotara felt the responsibility of protecting Banasur. Banasur, obviously being dead there, Krishna was there to kill him with his bow and arrow. But Kotara appeared in between, naked, to protect Banasur. But Banasur was already very badly wounded, and all the other Bhuta Pretas and goblins and whoever are supporters, like of Shivji, they were also very badly defeated. Now what to do? Now Shivji had to come front for protecting the devotee, Banasur. So when he came up front, he knew he had to fight against Narayan, which is kind of not possible, but he had to do his best. So he shoots the biggest weapon called as Shiva Jwara. Shiva Jwara is a weapon that will be used when Pralay come, dear devotees. It is going to be a weapon that will raise the temperature of the sun into 13 times right now what we feel. Everything will be very high and hot, and people will not be able to survive that. That kind of weapon he shot. But again, then there is a Narayan Jwara. And what is Narayan Jwara that Krishna had to use? Narayan Jwara is opposite of hot, cold. It is something that is absolutely cold. Prabhupada says that some or the other way people can still survive hot garmi, but they will not be able to survive extreme cold. Things get dead in extreme cold. So Shivji Narayan had to leave that. So what am I trying to explain over here? I'm trying to explain that obviously Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, he is the most important personality, he is the Adi Purush, but Shivji is very exalted and great devotee. So when we say he is the best among all the devotees, he is the biggest Mahajan. So to just say that point, Prabhupada had also used this example saying, look how powerful Shivji is. Right? He have this kind of weapons which are used at the time of dissolution. He's the best among all the demigods. The way he can meditate on Krishna, nobody else can. Right? So that is what Prabhupada was trying to explain out of just this first line, "O best of demigods." And then further, we see Prabhupada is mentioning, when a devotee becomes a little proud, the Supreme Lord sometimes exhibits his supreme power to dissipate the devotee's misunderstanding. Which I read, I realized that the story that I just narrated about Kotara Banasura also goes along with that. Sometimes we might think, oh, Shivji is the Almighty, but Krishna will always tell them that, yes, you are my devotee. No, never will Shivji feel that I am Almighty. It's the devotees who follow Shivji might feel like that. This is why we have all these leelas, so that we get back to normal route. And then here, I was looking at the qualities, because here it is said that Shivaji was unagitated. When he's unagitated, I could find this verse from Srimad Bhagavatam 5.9.20. In this also he says that the devotees always take shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord. Therefore, at all times, even if threatened by de- decapitation, they remain unagitated. For them, this is not at all wonderful. So here there is so many qualities about the devotees that are mentioned. Firstly, that the devotee has to be spiritually convinced that who he is. He should not be a person who is identifying himself with the body. He should be firmly convinced that I am the Jiva Atma, not this body. Then he has no fear. Why to fear when your father is Krishna? And then, even though his life might be threatened, he is not at all afraid. We see that with Prahlad Maharaj. He does not even treat enemies like enemy. Right? And such are the qualifications of the devotee, and such kind of a devotee is a devotee who is always unagitated. And that is the term that we are reading here about Shivaji. So this is just overview of a few qualities about Shivaji. In verse number 39, we see they are not really puppets from here on. So in verse number 39, we see that they said people people are generally attached to the sense enjoyment and conquered by its influence. Indeed, the influence of the material nature is never difficult for them to surmount. So here Prabhupada is saying that um, Shiv, Shivji, even though he is there with Maya Devi as in Parvati is his wife, right? So she is also the Durga. So even though he's constantly there with her, he can never get illusioned. And still, he was easily illusioned when Mohini Avatar had appeared. So this the most important thing here. Prabhupada is trying to say is that Shivji is Shiva Tattva. Vishnu is Vishnu Tattva and we are Jiva Tattva. So Shivji is nowhere Vishnu or Jiv, he's in between. So for that, I could just think about how we always read that Vishnu Tattva is 94% of the qualities, right, of Krishna, and Shiva Tattva is 84%, Brahmaji is 78%, and Jivatma generally cannot reach even to Brahmaji, right? So hence Brahmaji being Jiv Tattva and Vishnu Tattva, in between them is Shiv Tattva at 84%. This is not given in the puppet, but this is what I could recollect. Text number 40. The material external energy Maya who cooperates with me in creation and who is manifested in the three modes of nature will not be able to bewilder you anymore. So what is happening here? What are they talking about? So yeah, the material energy Maya, who is this? Durga. And who is Durga? She's Parvati, Prakriti. Sorry. And she is also working under the jurisdiction of Krishna. At that same time, she is also wife of Shivaji, right? So here, Vishnu is telling Shivji that you don't worry. Now the Maya that is under me will not bother you anymore. So we can see how devoted Prakriti, Durga Devi is also to Krishna. When she was supposed to bewilder her own husband, she did not take a step back because she followed what Krishna told her. So here I was thinking of a story which I've already narrated quite a few times, but it goes very well over here. That, for example, you go to a person's house and the person has a dog as a pet at their house. And when you go and open the door, the dog starts barking and jumping on you. And if you say, dog, go away, the dog is not going to go away. He's still going to do the same thing that he's been doing, bark on you, jump on you. But if you call for the owner who owns that dog, say, please help me. Your dog is barking here. That owner will come and will tell the dog, keep quiet or like go away, whatsoever. And the dog will listen because the direction is coming from where? From his owner. Similarly, when we have Maya, when we are constantly grist in Maya, and instead of telling Maya, go away, when we start chanting Harer Nama, Harer Nama Kevalam, Krishna will come and rescue us from this Maya Devi, and we will not be bothered anymore. Just like how Shivji was promised over here by Vishnu that Maya Devi is no longer going to bother you. I am done playing my tricks. We go on to verse number 41 over here. Um, In verse number 41, Shivaji is circumambulating around Vishnu, and then Purport it says a very brief line that after circumambulating, Vishnu gives a hug to Shivaji, and Shivaji is like overjoyed and he goes back. to Kailash along with his associates who were there. And in text number 42, we see that now he's telling Bhavani, as in his wife, that Shiv, Vishnu has all authority, all potency. Like, look how amazing he is. He's going to start describing. And in verse number 43, he continues and he says that although I am the principal expansion, right? We just discussed about how Shiva Tattva is in between Vishnu Tattva and Jiva Tattva. He's beyond the capacities of the um, Jiva Tattvas. So sometimes people might argue that Brahmaji and Shivji should be same, right? Because Brahmaji can create and Shivji can destroy. Prabhupada for that says, yes, that is true. Brahmaji creates and Shivji destroys, but he's destroying the creation created by Brahmaji. Hence, he's obviously every time more superior, as said by Srila Prabhupada. And then we go on to further verse number 44. And in 44, he's saying, Shivji is saying that I am meditating on that Krishna constantly, who is what? Who is Ajanma, who is never, we cannot actually have Janamashtami in Goloka. He's always been there, he will always be there. We on Prithvi, in this Mrityu Lok, we are very uh, like fortunate people. And why are we fortunate? Because we are able to celebrate Janamashtami. This is a festival that is not being celebrated in Goloka Vrindavan itself because Krishna is always there. But for us, Krishna appeared here. So we have Janmashtami. So he's saying that I am meditating constantly on that Lordship who is Ajanma, who has never had a birthday. When we go on to verse number 45, all these texts from here on, they are not having purports in them. And on text number 45, we see that here Sukadev Goswami is now saying that, my dear king, the person who bore the great mountain on his back for churning the ocean of milk is the same Supreme Personality of Godhead known as Sharangadhanva. So, when I read this, that in this, I had a realization that in this Mohini Roop Avatar, or you can say in the Samudra Manthan Leela, everything from start is being done by Vishnu. So first they had a problem. They approached Vishnu. Vishnu told them what to do, that you should be doing Samudra Manthan and then you will get nectar out of it. He gave the idea. And he told them what to use, Sumeru Parvat and Vasuki as rope and everything. All guidance was given. Still, the Devtas were not able to do it successfully because the Parvat was going down. So then he appeared as Kurma avatar, and then gave them the back support. Now they can do it. Still further, they had issues. Right? Then Krishna came as Dhanvantari. He bought it. And then there was a difficult position where distribution had become difficult for of the nectar. Then Krishna comes as Mohini Rup. So if you see, this world is Padam Padam Yat Vipadam. You might think, oh, after this I'll be able to do this. Let Krishna just do this much for me and then I will maintain everything. But nothing like this will ever happen. Even the demigods are struggling. Padam Padam Yat Vipadam was constantly there, and only when Krishna was there with them, in every pad, the Vipadam was going away. Otherwise, the Vipada would have maintained itself very nicely. So without Krishna, nothing in life can be really achieved. You say the smallest of the task or the biggest of the task. Nothing can be done without Krishna's desire. Verse number 46. Verse number 46 proclaims again very loud and clear that Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama Kevalam. In this Kali Yuga, only Hari Nam is the way that can take you out of any precarious situations. Here it says that indeed chanting the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the only mean to annihilate all sufferings in the material world. Nothing else is going to help us, but only chanting. It is also, this is also reason why Kali Yuga is called as Golden Yuga, Swarna Yuga. It is very difficult to understand, right? How can Kal Yuga as in black, ignorance, how can the black thing be golden opportunity? Hmm? Golden, because obviously we all know this. Two reasons. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the golden form appeared to take care of us. And it is a golden opportunity that we have to just chant. Do nothing else. You don't have to stand on one leg and one hand and upside down, do tapasya for 5,000 years. We don't have that much time. But only thing we have to do is Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama Kevalam. Really not very tough. Prabhupada always used to say that bhakti is so simple that it will be easily missed. So it is so easily available. Anybody can chant in whatever position they can chant, however they can chant. This is why it is a golden opportunity to get out of this material world. In the last verse, verse number 47, here Sukadeva Goswami is paying his humble obeisances to that Supreme Personality of Godhead who is never biased, but still more inclined to devotees. So in the puppet, there is a small puppet in this. As per that, again, we have discussed the story before of mother and sons. So, for example, there is a mother with 10 sons, and she is working day in and day out for them, doing everything, all that needs to be done for the well-being of the child. But out of those 10 sons, there is one son who's really very helpful to his mother, looks after her, brings her a glass of water after the whole days of work, brings her flower from her own garden that mother only planted, but goes out, cuts the flower, brings it for mother and offers it to her. Mother is really happy and touched. Now she will automatically be inclined to this person, yeah, to this son. But here we cannot say that which son she will love more. She is equal to all the sons because all of them are her own, right? But still she'll be inclined to this one. Why? Because he is doing service. How? Lovingly. Similarly, when a devotee is offering loving devotional service to Krishna, Krishna is automatically inclined because Krishna is Bhakta Vatsala. So he's automatically inclined, though he's not biased. Something, all these amazing things only Krishna can have. Achinta Bheda Tattva will also be there with Krishna only. He is not biased, still he's inclined to devotees. This also will be with Krishna only. So Krishna will always protect us. In this purport, Prabhupada says that Krishna is always inclined to his devotees. And this is why it is said, Konteya Pratijanani Name Bhakta Pranashyati. O Kunti, O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotees shall never perish. So I will pray that all of us also turn into good devotees and may Krishna give us the blessing and we never perish. With this, I will pause my voice. Hare Krishna. Dandatana.
Thank
Hare
you,
Krishna,
Mataji.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.